Hello dear viewers, welcome back to another Odoo 19 tutorial by Cybrosys. Today in this video, let's take a look at the inventory module of Odoo 19. You all know inventory is a crucial part of every business. So here you can manage everything regarding your stock move, your warehouses and everything. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the video and see how the inventory works. So let's see what inventory has for us. So this is the inventory of Odoo. Open that, and the very first thing that appears right in front of you is the inventory overview. So in the overview, you will be getting a rough data on different things that are happening inside the inventory, like the receipts, the delivery orders, the POS orders, and the manufacturing. So if you just take a look at the receipts, you can see 4 to receive. In the delivery orders, you can see 18 to deliver, and here you have one in late state, 5 operations regarding that. So if you click on that, it will be taking you to those data. Like if you click on 18 to deliver, you can see those 18 deliveries which are late. Okay, so you can see the status is ready and the schedule date can be seen over here. So that's how it works. Okay, so this gives you a rough idea about whatever is happening inside the inventory, and each card has these 3 dots. So if you click on that, you have the option to view all the ready ones or even the waiting ones. You can get the reporting of the receipts. You have the option to add it to favorites, change the card color. Now it's in this color. I'm going to change to yellow. So this is yellow right now. And then you can go to the configuration of these receipts where you can change the data from here and save it. So that's the overview of it's simply a dashboard which is giving you a rough graphical representation as well as a count of different things happening inside different areas of the inventory. Then comes the operation where you have the transfers, adjustments and procurement. Under the transfers, you have things like the receipts, the deliveries and the manufacturing. So in the receipts, you can see all the receipts over there. So by default, there'll be a filter called receipts. So if you remove it, you can see all. I'm going to put it back. See, you have things like my transfers, the starred ones and all such things. Okay. So let it be receipts. Okay, we'll do one thing. Go back to receipts again. So you have the default filter over here. Okay, so let it be there. And there are different types of views for this as well. This is the list view of the receipts. You have the Kanban view, which is a card view, which will be showing the reference number, the status and date and all. And even you can mark it as favorite from here. You have the calendar view of the very same thing, which is the receipts. And you can schedule activities corresponding to these receipts. Okay, so you all know how to schedule an activity. Whatever activity it is, you have to click on schedule. Okay, so after scheduling, you have to choose the receipt for which you are going to schedule the activity. And the summary, like whatever the name is, the activity type can be chosen from here and simply save it. So I'm not doing that right now. Going to the list view. So it's really easy or simple to create a new receipt. So existing receipts will be having a reference, contact, schedule date, source document, company and status. And here you have a small icon. If you click on that, you can add multiple fields to the list view. So if you want to add the deadline, you can add that. So I'm removing that. If you want to see the responsible person, you can see that. If you want to see the carrier, the company, the weight, the operation type, that and all can be added. Like multiple fields can be added to the receipts. So to create a new one, click on new and comes the new receipt. You have to choose the receive from who. Okay, that person should be chosen. I'm choosing Amy. And the operation type, obviously it will be receipt. If you want to change it, there are different types of operations. Like it can be delivery order, POS orders, receipts and all. So let it remain receipts itself. So as you are creating one from the receipts, obviously the operation type will be receipts itself. Then comes the scheduled date. The source document, if you have any, you can add it. Like if it has any of the purchase order or any reference document corresponding to this one that you are creating, you can add the reference over here. Then you can add the operations where you can add the products. So I'm adding customizable desk. The demand quantity was 5 units. Okay. So that is what I'm giving. And if you want to mark it as to do, right now it's in draft state. Okay. So you can change it to ready state. You can validate it. Okay. Once the validation is done, it will move on to the done state. And either you can return it or print it. So that's how it works. Okay, so a new one is added over here. So that's the receipts, how it works, and comes the operation deliveries. Okay, so if you go to deliveries, you can see all the deliveries where you have the reference number, the contact, the schedule date, the source document, operation type, company, and status of the different deliveries. So there are certain ones which are in done state, waiting state, ready state, and the ones which are in draft state. Okay, so if you just open one in ready state, you can see the deliveries here. You have to validate the delivery, right? So after validating the delivery, you can see the demand quantity, the quantity that has to be delivered. You have to make sure both are same and all. And once it's done, you can validate it and complete the procedure. So I'll show you how to create a new one. For that, click on new deliveries, add the delivery address. Okay, I'm adding Abigail. The operation type is there. Obviously, it will be delivery orders. Okay, so here you have to add the product. I'm adding the product, which is customizable desk itself. The demand quantity, let it be 50 units. Okay, so if you want to mark it as to do, you can mark it as to do. So which is which will put its stage to ready stage. Now if you want to mark it as done, what you have to do is you have to validate it. After validation, an SMS will be sent. Okay, so you can see whatever activities that we do will be marked in the chatter. So here you can see an SMS is sent, that is, we are glad to inform you that your order has been shipped. While we are ordering from e-commerce and all, we'll be getting such messages, right? Similarly, once it has been validated or completed, such a message will be sent and its stage will be changed to done state. You have two options, either you can print it or return it. And if you click on moves, the moves can be seen from here. It has been picked from WH stock. Okay, from there it was picked, and the moving, that is the stock moves, can easily be seen from the moves here. Now if you go back, you have the barcode. So barcode can be configured from here. So the picking is already done. So that's what it shows. This is how the delivery works. Okay, delivery, that's how it can be created and completed. That's how you complete the procedure. Then comes the manufacturings. So here comes the manufacturing. So if you want to create a new manufacturing, click on new. You have to add a product. Okay, and if you have a BOM for the product, that can be added, or you can create one from here. So if you click on create, it will give the component. You have to specify the component for the product for which you are creating a manufacturing. So what do you mean by manufacturing? Manufacturing means creating a product, right? If you are going to create a table, means you will be needed wood, you will be needing, certain things like the screws, bolts and all. So those things will come under the components. So while creating a BOM, you have to specify the product and the quantity. For one quantity or one unit of the product, how much components is required is what we have to give here. I'm giving the screw as 5. And here again, you can add other products like bolt. I'm giving it as 5 itself, which is required. Okay, so manufacture the product. You can either manufacture the product or put it as a kit. So I'm manufacturing the product, which is the BOM type, and I'm saving it. So what happens is that a BOM is created, and automatically once you choose that BOM, it will be added in, the components will be added to the component section, that is the order lines. Then you have the work orders as well as the miscellaneous data. So after you specify everything, you can simply confirm it. So now a manufacturing is confirmed. So after doing all these things, you can produce all, and then it will be in done state. So you even have an option to unbuild the manufacturing that you have done right now. So if you take a look at the chatter, you can see a manufacturing order is created and a manufacturing order is done right now. So unbuilding means you have to click on unbuild. One quantity you are going to unbuild it. Okay, so click on unbuild. Okay, so you can discard such messages, and unbuilding can be done likewise. So there are some situations where you can't unbuild it. So based on the requirements, you can do that. So that's how you do the unbuilding. And if you go to operations, you have, the transfers are complete. Then you have the adjustments where you have the fiscal inventory as well as the scrap. You know what scrap is, right? So this is the fiscal inventory. In the physical inventory, you can see the product, the lot and serial number assigned to the product, the schedule date, the user, on-hand quantity, counted quantity, and if there is any difference after the counting, that difference can be seen over here, as well as the units. Okay, so here you can see the on-hand quantity and the counted quantity. I'm giving it to 100. So here comes the difference. 30 is the difference. So that is how you do the on-hand and counted quantities and all. That is how you manage it. Okay, so if you want to create a new physical inventory, you can choose the product over here. So I'm choosing customizable desk. If you want, you can set a schedule date for physical inventory. You can set the on-hand quantity right now. You can set the counted quantity, which will be showing you the difference. So right now I am just putting it as such and clicking on apply. So you can see this record already exists. You try to create a record that already exists. So I've already created, there is already a data for customizable desk. So I'm doing additional one. That's the reason why I can't create it. So just by marking this, you can go to actions and you can even duplicate it, insert it into spreadsheet, export, set a quantity on hand, set to 0, or even relocate. Okay, and then you have the option to apply it, clear it. You can clear it from here. So continue and it will be cleared. Okay, so that's how it works. So if you want to apply all, click on apply. So if you are, and then you can update the quantities. Okay, so likewise here in the on-hand quantity, it was 70 before and I've added the counted quantity as 120. And if you click somewhere, you can see the difference is given here. Here the on-hand quantity is 500 and the counted quantity, if I give it to 100, the difference will be minus 500. Okay, so if I'm giving 550. So there are a lot of changes which are to be applied. So as simultaneously it can be applied simply by clicking on apply all, or each of these can be applied by clicking on apply, which comes for the separate discrete lines. Okay, so that's how you do it. That's the physical inventory. Then comes the scrap. So this is the scrap. If you want to create a new scrap order, you have to choose the product. So I'm choosing customizable desk, the quantity. If you want to replenish the quantity, what do you mean by replenish the quantity? It will trigger replenishment for scraped products. Okay, then you can specify the reason for the scrap and then you can validate it and it will be marked as done. Now, there is no rule found to replenish the customizable desk. So, if you want to replenish, obviously you have to set a replenishment rule for the product which you are choosing in the scrap order. So, I'm closing it and if I disable this and validate it, it will be moved to the done state. So, this has been scraped. That's the scrape order creation. And here you can see the scrape order that you've created and it's in done state. So that's the scrape. Then comes the replenishment. So replenishment is when you don't have a particular on-hand quantity, you have to buy it, right? So that replenishment is done here. You can either automate it or order it. So for that, you have to set a rule. So if you click on new, a new product can be added over here. So customizable desk itself. Now you have on-hand quantity this much, forecast quantity this much. So if you what is the route? Either to manufacture it or to buy it. So I'm going to buy it. You can choose any of these routes. Okay. And then you have the minimum quantity, maximum quantity and the order quantity that are to be ordered. I'm putting it as 10. You can set the minimum and maximum. What happens is that if I set the minimum to 5 and maximum to 10, okay, when it has the minimum quantity 5 or below 5, what happens is that this will be ordered. That is, the replenishment will be triggered. Okay, that's how it works. So here you have a thing like remove manually entered values and replace by the quantity to based on the forecasted quantity. If you want to replace it based on the forecasted quantity, that will be added over there. Rather than adding manually, it is to be added automatically. Then you have the replenishment information over here. If you click on the I button, you get the replenishment information. Okay, and then you can close the data from here. That's how the replenishment works. And then you have the Kanban view. So this is the Kanban view of the different replenishment. You have the replenishment report over here. If you click on that, you have the report, the product, minimum quantity, maximum quantity, and the forecast description as well. So here's the forecast description. So these much options or operations are hidden inside the replenishment. And if you want to trigger, you can see trigger manually, auto triggering, or all can be seen over here. So that's the replenishment. And then comes the products. So obviously in the product you've seen what products are, you know how to create a product. So these are the products which are goods. And if you want to create a new product, click on new, and this is the product creation form. So you have the general information, the attribute and variants, sales, the different prices, that is the price list, purchase, inventory, and accounting. Okay, so all these data can be specified. You all know how to create a product. We've done previous videos, and it shows, that is the next one is the product variant, which shows the variants that are available for that particular product. Okay, so you have customizable desk where it has variants for white, custom legs, black custom legs. You have stool with three different colors, and new product variant can be created from here. And comes the lot and serial number. So here you can create a lot and serial number and assign it to different products. So you can see different serial numbers that are created. If you want, you can click on new, create a lot and serial number. You can add the product over here, and the on-hand quantity for the inventory will be given here. So if you choose stool, the units are given here. Okay, the reference can be taken, description can be given, and a lot number will be automatically generated. So I'm creating one for the products too. Okay, so here you can see 1 is the lot number that I created right now. So that's the lot number. Very same thing can be put it into, you can put it into the Kanban view, which is a card view, which will be showing you the lot number, the product name, and the activity schedule corresponding to the product. So right now there is nothing to show. If you click on this, you have the option to schedule an activity. So you can schedule activities from here. It can be a signature, document, meeting, call, email, or even a to-do, and then save it. Then you have the reporting section where you have the stock reporting. So this is the stock-wise reporting. And here in the reporting, you have the history as well as the replenishment for each of the product, the unit cost, the total value, on hand, free to use, incoming, outgoing. Everything is there. So you have the furniture. If you expand it, you have the office furniture. You have the goods, the home construction. So you can choose from the categories that is given here. That is the filter categories. Okay. So you can create new inventory from here. You can add a product. Or if you go back, that is new stock can be added from there, and inventory at particular date. So if you give a date and apply, confirm it, based on that, the data will be given. So here you have the data. Okay, so that's how you get the stock reporting. And then you have the moves history. So moves history in the sense stock moves. So you can see the moves history of different product. From this to this, it has been moved one quantity, whether that is done. So that can easily be taken from here. So that thing you have in the Kanban view, whether it's done or not. Okay, whether it's updated, the time and all. Then you have the pivot view of the very same thing. So it's a tabular view where you can see the different products like the office furniture. These are the product categories. You have the goods, the home construction, rental, and services. And then you have different measures. So you all know you can add multiple measures simultaneously in the table here, which is the pivot table. So I'm adding packaging quantity and the quantities. So that too will be added to the table for each of the product category. So that's the reporting for moves history. Then you have the moves analysis. So for analysis, you have the table. You have the list view. Okay, this is the list view where you have the reference product from to, that is the moves from and to locations, demand, quantity, unit, and the status. And obviously for analysis, without graph analysis, there is nothing else, right? So you have the bar chart, the line chart, and pie chart with the very same thing, which shows different products. So the demand for this product, that is the desk combination, is 75% compared to the others. So you can add this is demand, which is given over here. If you want the price unit or the quantity, that can be taken from here. Here also desk combination is having 75%. Okay, and if you want to insert it into spreadsheet, that is possible. It can either be a blank spreadsheet or an existing one. Okay, then you have it in the Kanban view. So that is the reporting section. Then comes the configuration where we have the settings. Let us keep it aside for the last. Then you have the warehouse management. So obviously for inventory, without warehouse, there is no inventory, right? So here you can actually create and manage warehouses. You know what warehouse is? It's where the stock has been stored and moves and all is taking place. So to create one, click on new. Okay. So you can get a name automatically. You can set short name for the warehouse and then routes can be specified. So I'm going back to warehouses. Here you have a warehouse. If you go to routes, you can see the routes for that warehouse, like the manufacture, buy, receive in one step, deliver in one step. So the very same thing you can do in 2-step and 3-step. Okay. So that's the warehouses. I'll do detailed video on everything. Don't worry. Then you have the operation types, where you have the operation types like receipts, delivery orders, manufacturing and POS order. Now, this might be familiar because this is what you've seen in the overview. Different operations is what you've seen in the dashboard. That is the overview. Okay. Then comes the products, for which you have the categories. Now, going back to the operation type, if you want to create a new operation type, it's really simple. Create one over here. Okay. You can choose the type from here. Obviously, there'll be only 4 types of operation, and then complete the procedure. So that form is this. Then if you go to configuration, you have the attributes for products. You know what attributes are. There'll be colors, brand, size and all. So those attributes can be configured here. You can even create a new attribute from here. You have the option to choose the display type, the variant creation, whether it's instantly, dynamically or never, can be chosen from here. So I think we've skipped the categories. These are different product categories. If you're creating a product which comes under drinks, you can put it under the category drinks. Similarly, you have food, furniture and all. Okay. Then comes the units and packaging. So you have the different units for packaging. Okay. It can be in units, it can be hours, days, it can be in ounces and all. So such units can be configured from here, and you have to specify how much reference units will contain in it. If it's grams, how much gram will be contained in the packaging, how much unit will be contained with the packaging and all. So that's the unit and packaging. Then you have finally the delivery methods. So you have different delivery methods over here, which is based on rules, fixed prices and all. So you can click on new to create a new delivery method, where this is the delivery method creation form. You can publish it into website just by clicking on this button. So you can set a fixed price. You have the availability as well as the description over here. You can set it as cash on delivery. For that you have to check this. Okay. So if the provider is giving a fixed price, or is it based on rules, that can be configured here. If it's based on rules, you can configure it here, like the margin percentage, additional margin and all. And if you want to install more providers, click on install providers. Okay. So I'm rejecting that, and let's move on to the settings. So here in the settings, you have the operations, the barcode, the shipping connectors, products, traceability, valuation, warehouse, advanced scheduling, and logistics. So for operation, we have packages. Like if you want to put your products in different packs, like parcels or boxes, and track them, you have to enable the packaging. Then you have the partner specific instruction. Like if you want to add instruction to any specific partner, you have to choose this. You have the quality, that is for quality check of each of the products. The reception report, which is to view and allocate the received quantities. So that was the reception report, where you can allocate your received quantities. And then comes the batch, wave and cluster transfers. So you will be having transfers. Okay. So bulk operation of sending, the transfers can be done. Like batch transfer, wave transfer and cluster transfers can be done. So to perform that, you have to enable this. Like grouping the transfers and operations together is what it simply means. So we have this thing. I'll be doing a separate video on batch transfer and wave transfer. Don't worry. Then you have the picking policy. So ship product as soon as available with back orders, or ship all product at once, whatever the shipping policy you need, that can be added over here. And then annual inventory day and month. Like there'll be a day on which you have to count it, right? Every year. So that can be added from here. Then comes the barcode. So you have a barcode scanner here. Okay, so the barcode scanner is already enabled, and the default nomenclature can be set here, like whatever the barcode nomenclature is. You have the default GS1 nomenclature and the default nomenclature. So you can add that. You have the stock barcode database. So you can create product easily by scanning using barcodelookup.com in barcode. So that's the barcode section. Then you have the shipping section where you have the delivery methods, the email confirmation, signature, dispatch management system, and text confirmation. Then comes the shipping connectors. So you have a lot of connectors over here. Whatever connector you need, you can enable it and use it from here. Okay. Then you have the products. So for that, we have already seen the unit of measure and the variance. You have the traceability, like based on lot and serial number, how you want to trace the product. If you want to display the lot and serial number on the delivery slip, you have to enable this. If you want to set the expiration date on lots and serial number, then you can set that from here. The consignment, you can set owner on different stored products. For individual product, if you want to set owner, that is the consignment, that can be done from here. Then comes the valuation, where you have the landed cost as well as the option to display lot and serial number on invoice. That can be done from here. You have the warehouse management for storage location as well as multi-step routes, like you can use your own routes. Then you have the advanced scheduling for the replenishment horizon as well as security lead time for sales. And finally, you have the logistics, where you have the drop shipping and replenishment on order, which is MTO. So you have to enable this only when, only then you can do the MTO, that is replenishment on order. So this will be added to the routes in the products, and from there you can enable it and use it. So there are a lot of features in the settings as well. So don't worry, we'll be doing separate videos on each of these topics. So this is to let you guys know that we have these much features that is available in the inventory module. So those are the features that is available in the inventory module of Odoo 19. I hope that was clear for you guys. We'll be doing detailed and deeper videos on each specific topic of inventory. So till that, stay tuned.